everyone, I'm back. I'm still ill, but I want to carry on because I don't want to fall behind. So I apologize for the red nose and possible sniffing and what have you. You will all know what this is all about, and if you don't, I'll leave the information in the doobly-doo, as Kellyanne always says, bless her. So, cracking on, I'm starting today with number 14. What card confused the heck out of you? What card confuses the heck out of you when it shows up? And why do you think this is? Court cards. I think that's probably a universal problem. Court cards. I'm getting better at it. I've basically, come to the understanding with myself and the cards that if the question's got nothing to do with other people, if other people aren't involved in the situation, then it's not going to be another person. I've actually made myself some notes because I'm really struggling, folks, so I apologize for this. So consequently, if it's not a person, it's going to represent a concept, whatever concept that particular court card, stands for. Where other people are involved, then I attack it from the standpoint of spread position and the question, and try and make sense of it that way. I think really the difficulty is more theoretical than actual. If somebody says, oh, here's the Jack of coins, what does that mean to you? Oh, well, is it a person, is it this, is it that? But when you've actually got it in a spread with a question, more often than not, you can, you just, well, I want to say I mean, if you're like, with a bit of practice, what it's trying to tell you, in juxtaposition with other cards and what have you. You just kind of get a feel for it. And, if you don't, well, you can deal with it at the time. But yeah, I'm getting better, but nobody likes court cards. The other thing I have, I suppose it's an issue with, is the aces. Yeah, they represent potentiality. The beginning of something, or the essence of something, or the, overall overarching influence of, wands, cups, what have you. But that's a bit sort of okay. But again, when you see it with other cards, when you see it in the context of a question, hopefully it's not that bad. But yeah, on the face of it, aces are just kind of like, yeah, meh, all right, thanks. Good to know. I am sorry. I'm really sorry. But if I don't crack on with these, I'm just going to fall so far behind that I'm just not going to continue. And I really want to continue. Aren't you pleased? I'm just so thrilled. Okay, so question number 15. Cracking along here. Why do you usually use the tarot? And then it gives a number of options. Self-reflection, guidance, advice, recreation, communing with spirits, stroke dead, communication with deity, other. Mainly for me, tarot is for guidance. And that can be of the self-reflective nature, where I'm just kind of feeling like I need a sign, some guidance, of that kind of nature. And then I will throw some cards, say, where am I? Where am I in this? What do you want to tell me? But it can be straight up, what's happening? What's this all about? What am I supposed to do about it? To the, not so much the, not necessarily fortune telling so much as wanting to get more concrete information. But yes, when I read cards, if I'm reading for me, and if I'm reading for other people, but if I'm just reading for me, then it is actually to connect with spirit. And I won't say the dead necessarily, but I try and contact my ancestors. My grandmother, obviously, because she was a card reader, so I kind of like to keep her close by and hope that she's helping and watching and not laughing too much. Sometimes my mother, I'll get little signs from my mother. It's all very subtle. I'm no medium by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, little things that I kind of go, Mom, is that you? I had a really fun time for Samhain last year. I got, just for a giggle, I got myself the Halloween oracle. I thought, oh, that's fun. That's really cute. I'll play with that. And I thought, that night, you know, not midnight, because trust me, I was not up at midnight. I'm not that kind of person. But heading out to midnight, I thought, I'll do some reading specifically calling on my grandmother, my mother, my father, and my grandfather, which is, I haven't sort of really reached out to my dad or my grandfather. And so I gave them all a chance to, you know, come and tell me something in 3 cards. What have you got to say? And that went really well, kind of scary well, actually. I was quite impressed with that. Even the one, you know, for my dad, I thought, yeah, I don't quite know how this is going to go, but it was like, okay, yeah, I can see where those cards came from. Yeah, hi Dad, how are you doing? And even my grandfather apparently is a bit narked that I hadn't actually bothered to try and contact him before. And I had a bit of trouble with him for a few weeks. Ancestor altar type stuff, and you know, but that was quite funny. So he took a bit of appeasing. Sorry, Opa. Yeah, Opa, because we're German. This is my Oma and Opa, my grandmother and grandfather. Yeah. And then reading, generally, I expect my guides to be present. Some of you won't go for that, but over the past few years, there have been, you know, in the same way that, you know, my grandmother pops in from time to time and says her piece, I get inklings and signs that, you know, there's somebody, something, guides, spirits, angels, with me, hopefully, you know, assisting me or nudging me. Yeah, you know, that's why I do it, I think. And the other day I was thinking, you know, I've made it quite apparent, you know, I really don't like reading for other people. It scares me. And then I thought, why do I do this? And I think that's why I do that. I want to make that connection on some level. And when I do read for other people, I sincerely try and make that connection, because I'm not reading the cards for you. I'm the interpreter. You know, the messages come through. They come through the cards. They come through whatever it is I'm picking up on. And, you know, your language may vary. But there is something that we can connect to that will help us. And that's what I try and do. And that's why I try and do it. So, yeah, communication with deity. In a way, in a sense, you know, because these spirits, these guides, I feel are my connection to, you know, it, the source. Again, you know, whatever you want to call it, whatever it manifests as for you. And this is my way of sort of checking in from time to time, saying, hi, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm sorry, I haven't been paying very much attention, you know, but, you know, I hope you're still speaking to me, love you, bye, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there you go, boom, boom. Let's just carry on. Oh, I'm probably feverish, sorry folks. Actually, I'm noticing how glassy my eyes are looking. I probably am feverish. Number 16. How much emphasis do you put on textbook meanings for cards? Excuse me. And how much stress do you place on the feeling you get from cards through their artwork, symbolism, etc., aka reading intuitively? Do you do both, or one or the other? Do you ever use the major arcana without the minor arcana, or vice versa? Do you read the major arcana, or do you read with major arcana only decks? Probably could have done with being 2 questions, that one, but let's start with the first bit. How much emphasis do you put on textbook meanings for cards? A fair bit. You know, I think you need that. You need a vocabulary. You need some foundation, some keys to be getting on with. So I carry, after years and years and hard work, a database of basic meanings. So if I see a card, it's ka-ching, you know, a few words start, you know, rattling in my head. And if that's what pops up first, that's what I go with. But sometimes I'll see a card and I'll go, in relation to this question, this situation, that means such and such. That's talking about this, not necessarily the book meaning of the card, but some little part of that image, or something about where it's sitting in the spread, or what card it's sitting next to, will just take me off on a completely different tangent. And I've just realized that the sun is starting to creep around behind me, so I'm sorry for all getting blinded out here. That's actually what I just put this binder there to try and keep the sun from blinding everybody, but I didn't want to shut the curtains or I've got no light. So apologies for that. Hope you're all okay. I am still here. If you can't see me, just follow the voice. Yeah. Right, so I think I covered that. I don't tend to use majors separately from minors unless there's a spread that particularly calls for it. I don't muck about with spreads too much. No, I like to work with a full deck. Chance would be a fine thing. But I saw a spread recently, and again, I did try to find it, and I didn't have any luck, and I didn't want to spend too long looking. And that was quite interesting, where you did separate the majors from the minors, and you laid down cards from the major arcana to represent, how did I put it? Because I actually wrote this down here. An influence. Something that you're striving for or trying to avoid or whatever. I can't remember the exact positions there, But then what you did was you then laid one or two minor cards to tell you in practical terms how to achieve that. What you needed to do, what you needed not to do, or start doing or stop doing, or whatever. Because, of course, the minor is far more practical, functional sort of stuff, whereas the majors, only tend, and in this particular instance, that's their function, to be the higher level, overall big picture things. So that's quite good, and I do that kind of thing. Right, no. Sorry. I don't know what I'd be sitting here just kind of staring at this, if I didn't have my notes. I'm really not well today. Number 17. Do you read using reversals? Why or why not? I don't read using reversals. I diligently made notes of the reversed meanings when I started out, and with every intention of being a good girl and reading upright and reversed. But I just never took to it. I probably just started out thinking, I'll just read upright to start with, sort of like a bicycle with training wheels, and then one day I'll take the training wheels off and I'll read reversed. But I just never kind of found it necessary. I will read reversed with decks that are really designed for that sort of thing, and for a little color and a break from my red nose, I did bring up a deck to sort of illustrate the point, and I'm going to be looking at the camera here again. And this is the, oh my god, Dame Fortune's Wheel. There we go. Sorry, Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot. I don't know, you may be familiar with it. Okay, so there's upright. Oh, look, there's a reversed one. Reversed. More reversed. More reversed. Seriously reversed this deck. I'm going to have to work with this. Oh, look, there's an upright one again. And it's just the way this deck works. It's based on Itaya's meanings, and I'm not going to go into any details, but I will try and put some information about him and this deck in the doobly-doo. Sorry, Kelly, I'm going to have to stop doing that. That's out and out plagiarism. Mustn't do that. But the meanings are very different, and the meanings are very specific, almost in a fortune-tellery sort of way, which is probably why I kind of like this deck. For instance, this one, what is this? This is the 4 of coins. You see that all right there? They're quite long cards, so it's hard to get it in frame. But they have specific upright and reversed meanings, and they're not necessarily terribly related to each other. And because I didn't want to try and learn a whole new system, I quite happily wrote the meanings on the cards. There you go. Why should I struggle? Why should I make it difficult for myself? So this one is benefit, acquisitions, or present, upright and reversed. It's enclosure, pregnant, arrested, or obstacles. So a bit random, for the two, So yeah, they are entirely meant to be read upright and reversed, and that is what I do with them, and I love them. So there you go. That's your little image interlude on that one. Reversals. Right, now why? I don't want to blow my own horn, but you know, I've been doing this for a while now, and I think I can see most of the time, with the help of my guides, thank you, we've referred to that already, when a card is meant to be seen in its sort of upright aspect, and when it's meant to be understood in its reversed aspect. I won't say negative, because that's not necessarily the same thing. And again, that's just based on the question, based on the position in the spread, just the feel of the reading itself. You just kind of get that, this is good, you're doing the right thing, you know, blah, 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 or, oh, this is what you should be doing, but you're not, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think there's enough going on with the 78 cards and intuition and question and positions that you don't really need reversed cards. I'm going to get a slating for that. And to this day, I still feel somewhat guilty when I admit that I don't use reversals, like I'm somehow, yeah, still got the training wheels on, but it works for me. It's worked for me all these years, and I don't see why I should change it now. That may change. Everything may change. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, like I said before. So, this is going to be my last one. And this puts me slightly ahead of the game here, so we're good. Do you feel a connection to your cards? Yes, I absolutely do feel a connection to my cards. On the physical level, the cards themselves, certain decks just have personalities, and as soon as you sort of pick them up and start shuffling them, you know, you sort of connect, and it's like, you know, seeing a friend. Oh, hey, hi, how are you? How are you feeling today? You know, how's it been? How's it been going? You know, that kind of thing. I feel warm fuzzies towards a lot of my decks. I'm really sad. I really need to get out more. But I also, again, feel that connection when I start to use the cards. I will connect to certain energies, guides, those little whispering voices, angels, if I'm using an angel oracle or something along those lines. Yeah, I definitely, there is some connection. There's some, they form a link between me and something bigger than me. And again, you know, semantics. It's outside me, it's within me, it's bigger than me, I'm bigger than it, you know, who knows? I just know that I feel it. I know that it forms a part of my relationship with my cards and with card reading and all of this stuff. So yeah, they are just bits of paper. And you know, I wouldn't get, you know, if my cats got yeah, I have cats. Have I mentioned I have cats? I have 3 cats. For another time. If one, you know, if the cats got hold of one of my decks, as long as it wasn't a really rare, expensive one, and you know, tore some cards to shreds, I wouldn't go, oh my god, what have you done, my deck? I'd just, you know, get another deck. But yeah, it just opens up something that means so much to me. I just love it. Right, okay, I've waffled enough now. I'm gonna go. Hopefully by the time I come back to do a few more days, I'll have actually sort of recovered a little bit. Anyway, love you all. Stay well, stay warm, or if you're, you know, in that part of the world where it is too warm, stay cool, and I'll see you soon.